It's no secret that a lot of people suffer from anxiety and they don't know how to cope with it. If you're one of those people, then this video is for you, because today I'm going to do my best to give you some pertinent information on what anxiety disorder symptoms are and how you can not only treat them, but learn to live your life in spite of them. So without further ado, let's dive into the wonderful world that is anxiety disorder symptoms, what they are, how they affect us, and so on. Now, you may have an anxiety disorder if you're worried about everyday things that don't seem important, or if you obsessively worry about one thing for weeks on end without relief. But anxiety is a normal part of life. Therefore, it's important for us to understand that it isn't just something that we should try to avoid at all costs, because it's actually a very normal response to stress. For example, if you're walking down the street and you saw a dog charging toward you, barking up a storm, your body would respond by releasing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline into your veins, which would increase your heart rate, your blood pressure, and your breathing so that you could run away safely. If this mechanism didn't work properly, for example, imagine if every time you were afraid and the only thing that will happen was you felt butterflies in your stomach. Now that wouldn't be very effective, would it? You'd be bitten by every mean dog you encounter because your brain didn't alert you to run. But by producing these symptoms, our bodies trick us into thinking that we're in danger so that we can keep alert and be ready to take action. This fight or flight response that you feel in your body is brought about by the stress that you feel at the moment. Your body is readying you to tackle whatever problem's bothering you. And if that stress, if it isn't released by either getting the task done or having it completely removed, then your body would just continue releasing hormones into your nervous system, which causes additional anxiety disorder symptoms. And this is where the bad news comes in. These additional symptoms can be so uncomfortable that they become detrimental to your everyday life, causing you to get sick or to even have panic attacks. Now, there are a couple of options that you have when it comes to dealing with your anxiety disorder. First off, you could try to avoid all the situations that may cause you stress. But as we've already talked about, that doesn't work because stress, again, is a normal part of life. To avoid it means that you would have to not only avoid going to work, but you also have to avoid all other social situations. This, of course, is almost impossible because sooner or later you're going to have to interact with other people. So if you're suffering from anxiety, you have to understand and accept that it's not something that could be totally eliminated. It can only be managed. So a better option is to find new ways to cope with your anxiety disorder symptoms so that they don't get out of hand. So whenever you start to feel some sort of physical symptom, try to identify what's causing it. If it's your stress level, then figure out what the source of that stress is and try to work it out. If you can't figure it out, then you may want to take a break and take some time to relax and reflect. This might help you feel better so that you can think clearly about what caused your anxiety disorder symptoms. The most common anxiety disorder symptoms are things like, things that you might not even see as being an issue. For example, if your heart rate was increasing due to stress, then it's likely not something you'd notice unless there was someone there taking your pulse at the time this was happening. These types of anxiety disorder symptoms include things like shortness of breath, rapid heartbeat, chest pain, sweating, and for some people, nausea or vomiting. But if you can identify what's causing your anxiety disorder symptoms, it'll be much easier to learn how to deal with them. However, if you feel like you're having trouble controlling these issues, then I highly encourage you to seek professional help. Because if you feel like there's no solution to your problems or that there's no way out, then you'll likely suffer from some higher form of anxiety disorder, and you may need help finding the root cause. Because there are some anxiety disorder symptoms that you might not be able to ignore, which include things like insomnia or fatigue. These types of anxiety disorder symptoms can really wear us out during our daily lives. For example, imagine how you feel after a big project at work has been weighing on your mind for weeks. You probably don't sleep well. You probably can't function as well during the day either. You're also probably completely exhausted by the time the sun goes down. These types of anxiety disorder symptoms really make it difficult to enjoy our daily lives. So if you're having normal, not extreme, but normal anxiety disorder symptoms, what can you do about them? What can you do about them yourself to keep them under control? Well, one, even if you can't totally avoid the things that trigger your symptoms, you still can minimize and manage them. You might want to try to be aware of what's causing your symptoms and find a coping mechanism. Relax with a book or some music when you start to feel stress symptoms. Talk to someone about how you're feeling. Keep track of how you're feeling and what triggers your anxiety disorder symptoms. Practice breathing exercises or do a cardiovascular exercise to combat physical symptoms. Relax by taking time out of your schedule to do something fun for yourself. You see, in the end, there is really no one-size-fits-all answer for this because everyone's version of coping is different. However, there are things that we can all agree on. We can't avoid stressful situations forever, and learning to cope with our symptoms is the key to living a fulfilling life that doesn't involve avoiding everything that might cause us stress. Well, I hope this video has provided some good information for those who may be struggling with anxiety disorders, or if you know someone else who does. So if you liked what I had to say in this video, please hit that subscribe button, like my video. And if there's anything specific about your condition that you want me to cover in future videos, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching.